Ladies and gamers, welcome to BelleNOiRtv. You are watching Cast My Game episode 14. My name is BelleNOir, and this is a show where I cast replays that you sent me. And if you care to look below the camera window that I have here so nifty, you will find out in the description that it is usually between 10 to 30 minutes, plus minus. Exceptions being made in high quality games, of course. And all of those are Masters versus Master level games, regardless of server. That's, of course, not saying we don't accept Grandmaster level plays and replays. We'd be delighted to. And we do have one high quality game in store for you today. So, before we do get into that, let me just welcome everybody on the stream. I hope you will have a good time today. With us here. Of course, don't be shy. Join the chat if you're watching from Team Liquid or from some other streaming portal. Don't be shy and join the chat. The guys here are really amicable and really friendly. Hello there, Alaran. How you're doing? Alright, so let me just give a couple of shoutouts to the new people on the stream. There are quite a couple of nicks that I see for the first time that I have not seen before in my life. So, Kuba13, welcome to the stream. Yarjik, welcome to the stream. Malibu Joe, Pankrutor, or Pankrutor, I don't know which country you're from. Urakra Zodiac CZ, which probably is from Czech Republic. So hello there. Quite a lot of people from the Czech Republic tuning in today. I guess Jump kind of criticizing me for me quite frequently saying quite a lot of swear words on the stream, such as fuck you, dick, cunt, bitch, etc, etc, etc. Jump, if you manage to click on this minute, on this second, and you go in the next broadcast and say, well, he's still cursing and swearing all the time, I'm really gonna start hating on you. Really, like, watch the whole damn thing. Don't judge too quickly. No, really. Just a joke. Don't take it seriously. Okay. I'm glad you guys are having fun as I'm checking the chat. Okay. Pankrutoš is from the Czech Republic. Alrighty, so we have 3 games for you today. Again, no mirror matchups. I try to avoid mirror matchups in the future. In the future, we will have more mirror matchups, of course. If you would, of course, like me to cast your replays, just send it to BelleNOiR@sesnam.cz with the title "Cast My Game," including a short description. Please don't forget to mention your player name in the replay, because if you don't tell me what is your player name, I can't give you a shout out. Of course, if you have a stream, if you have a team, if you have a website, if you have anything you'd like me to shout out, then include those as well, and I will do my best to do so. So today we have a ZVP, a TVZ, and a TVP on the menu. Let me just check and try to ascertain which game we will start with. Oh my god, these are actually pretty long games. So, we have 2 Protosses here and 2 Terrans, but only 1 Zerg. So let us start things off with a ZVP, because I haven't casted today yet, so I'm not really warmed up. So let's go with the shorter game first. Starting the game right now. This is going to be on BelleNOiR Vestige, and by the looks of it, this is a ladder game, just judging by the colors being red and blue. Of course, I have to check if the overlay switched. Yes, it has. Awesome. Let's go into the game. On BelleNOiR Vestige, a ladder game probably from the European server. In the bottom right, we do have the red Zerg, BurnheaD. And in the top, let's see, we have someone named Wolf in the blue trunks playing Protoss. Now, just to mention, there are quite a lot of wolves on the ladder recently. I have seen quite a lot of them. And of course, in the StarCraft scene, probably the most well-known, wow, most well-known wolf is the caster for the GSL. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a 7 pool here, /8 pool, depending on how you look at it. Wow. Wow, this is a really, really, really aggressive opening. And, you know, this is not going to cause too much of a trouble for Wolf, or should not cause too much of a trouble for Wolf. That is, if he decides to probe scout. If he doesn't go ahead and doesn't probe scout, he might be in a little bit of trouble, because he will need to chrono boost out that Zealot. The Zealot should come out just in time to be ready to hold off those Zerglings. Of course, it is the crucial deciding thing is how many Zerglings will BurnheaD end up producing. We do see 6 Zerglings in the production tab already. Now this is of course quite enough to take down one Zealot. He's going back into drones immediately after this and getting a queen. So this is just a pressure build. Will this probe see these Zerglings? Oh, just missed by a second. This is why I always say scout after your gateway immediately. That was just a split-second decision there. Just a little bit too late on the scout. And he is going to see that the pool is finished, but he can't tell if there are Zerglings on the way. If this was a 15 or a 14 pool, it would finish right about now. So I don't think if he's suspecting anything, and no, he's not. He's not making a Zealot. Oh, this can prove to be quite disastrous for him. The Cybercore already under attack. Probes have been pulled off the mineral line, and a couple of them might go down, but the Zealot, this all buys time for the Zealot to come out. He needs that Zealot to defend this aggression. He's missing a pylon in the process here, trying to go for a surround on the lanes, but, well, okay, 1 probe dies there. Actually, 4 probes already died there. But 3 Zerglings still staying alive. This is going to be easy for the Zealots to stave off. And now with the Mothership Core, it is going to be defended quite nicely. Meanwhile, we see BurnheaD taking an expansion over here, playing more mind games with Wolf. Wolf, for all he knows, is that this is some sort of a one-base play. Did he see the gas actually? No, he did not see the gas. And this fast gas kind of suggests that there might be a Roach follow-up to this. I'm going to be keeping an eye on the natural expansion of the Zerg if he does end up taking a 3rd hatchery there. Meanwhile, Wolf trying to expand here. That Zod with the Mothership Core is of course going to go ahead and cross the map. Those Zerglings have been taken out, and yeah, we do have a Roach Warren going down. No expansion here. Even the 3rd was cancelled. This is some play coming out of BurnheaD, and I don't know if I'm to be amazed or if I'm to be shocked that he is actually going for this sort of like all-inish play. Mothership Core is going to continue to be a nuisance around here though, but does not have enough firepower to kill that hatchery by any means whatsoever. Now the problem is that there is literally no defensive potential here for the Protoss player. Once that Roach Warren finishes, actually is already done. If BurnheaD decides to pump, I don't know, 5 Roaches right now, he doesn't actually have gas enough for 5 Roaches, but if he decides to pump 4 or 5 Roaches, then he could do more damage, because only 1 sentry, no cannons, 2nd sentry just now coming out. BurnheaD has to know that he had a timing for additional pressure there, but no, he decides to get the link speed and just play standard, if you can call it that, from this point on. 2 additional gateways going down for the Protoss player, so this is basically an old school 1-gate expand, kind of similar to what you would do in Wings of Liberty, with the difference that you do get that Mothership Core. So, you know, in Wings of Liberty you could do this with only 1 gas. You can't do this quite nicely if you want enough sentries. with 1 gas only in Heart of the Swarm, just because you need that 100 gas for the Mothership Core to stay safe. Third base going down for the Protoss player. I think that probe was seen, though. Maybe. No, probably not. And this expansion so far has gone unscouted. And yeah, Wolf just needs to confirm that third base. Third base not really down yet, and we already have Lair on the way, probably going to go either into fast swarm hosts or Mutalisks. This is a really weird play coming out of BurnheaD. A high pressure build, cancel on the third base, and then just continuing to try to play a normal game. Zergling's trying to take control of the map here, very wise there from BurnheaD. Wolf going to go ahead and use hallucinated phoenixes to scout out his opponent. Lair is just about to finish, so very good timing on that phoenix scout. And he now knows about the third base. Oh, even an Oracle trying to come in and scare the Zerg. Oh, the Oracle! It sees the Spire! It sees the Spire. What a bad place to put your Spire in as a Zerg. Meanwhile, a Zergling run by will get a cancel on this third base, probably. There are 4 sentries. They might force field this out. Warp gate is finished. Oh, very bad force fields there by Wolf. He will end up losing 2 sentries here as a result. He may actually want to pull back from here. He doesn't know if there's a follow-up coming. Meanwhile, he does scout the third base. More lings on the way for BurnheaD. He really wants to deny this expansion. He does not want the Protoss to get a economic advantage at this point in time. And the whole army is basically here and dead. Well, this doesn't look good for Wolf. Forced to recall his Mothership Core. Nice positioning of the Zealot, I have to say. Making the best use of them as possible, warping them near the cannons, protecting the pylon, being as cost efficient as possible, and looks like this third base will end up staying alive. BurnheaD still producing lings. He is only on 42 drones. This is a really aggressive play coming out of the Zerg player right here. But he does have quite enough of gas stacked up, and I suspect the next larva batch will be morphed into Mutalisks. Now, in the Protoss base, we do have the Twilight Council, as he did see the Spire with the Hallucinated Oracle. Already moving into Templar Archives. This is not the best response, I have to say. The ideal response to this type of play is dropping down 2 Stargates and saving up Chrono Boost. Chrono boosting as many Phoenixes as you can. That way you will have the counter already in place by the time the Mutalisks start hitting you. But I don't know how I feel about these continuous Zergling attacks. I mean, yes, BurnheaD is keeping the army low, kind of. If we look at the unit tab, only these 3 Zealots actually are alive for Wolf. That's all the army he's got. But at the same time, well, it's just like expanding larva and not getting very much out of it. Furthermore, just by forcing the Protoss player to warp in pure Zealots, he's saving up all his gas. So, you know, you should be trying to limit the gas of the Protoss, trying to kill the gas units, and not the mineral units. Still continuing to attack, still rallying Zerglings. Finally, first 10 Mutalisks out on the way. +1 for them. Should be finishing very, very shortly here. It's got only 30-odd seconds on the timer. The Protoss is in dire straits. The Temple Archives, though, are finished. And he does have enough resources, more than enough resources, actually, to warp in quite a lot of those. And he's immediately warping them into Archons. He knows he does not have much time. Not the best decision he could have made, and already getting +2/+2 on his infantry upgrades, so double upgrades on the way, whereas the Zerg is just now getting +1/+1. Let's look at the economy here. 44 drones versus 53 probes. I'd say the Protoss is in a pretty good shape. If he can defend this Mutalisk harass without incurring too many losses, he will be in a good position in this game. And the Mutalisk do go into the main mineral line. 20 workers already have gone down this game. These mutas alone killing 10 or so. They're forced to be rallied into the natural base, and from there forced to be rallied into the third base. The Mothership Core is trying to go in and activate the Photon Overcharge maybe. There we go. Might end up getting sniped though. Yes, he is going for it with those mutas, and still more probes being killed. 43 killed. There is the huge warping of Stalkers driving those mutalisks away, but this was so worth it for BurnheaD. I hate to say it, but I think this has just won him the game. Here we go, the magic box on top of the Archons, and actually not a single mutalisk dying there, allowing them to continue their harassment. 4 Stalkers are certainly not going to be enough to kill this army of mutalisks, and they are going to just fly away and heal. There is no way the Protoss can catch them. There is no way he can kill them off. Hive on the way as well. Heavy air upgrades coming in from the Zerg. I just wish he'd pump a little bit more into his economy. Not that he needs to at this point, but hey, went ahead, get more ahead. The Protoss is on 29 probes, and he is trying to go get more ahead by taking this expansion on the left side of the map. Meanwhile, sending more Mutalisks to help secure that expansion, keeping the Protoss army as little and small as it is in the main base defending. And he goes in and he's like, whoa, dude, wait, where are your probes? So he's going to be feeling pretty alright. +2/+2 is done though for the Protoss. And if he goes for some sort of a 2-base all-in on 3 bases, why I say that? Well, because he's got only 32 probes. He could do some damage considering that the Zerg player is behind on economy, or, you know, not behind in economy, he is low on economy compared to what he would normally have had. Yes, indeed, Wolf feels like this is his only chance to win the game, to bring it back. Does he know about that base? No, but he's moving across the map. Let's see if he decides to move to the southwest or to the southeast where the Zerg stronghold is. This army doesn't look that big, but remember guys, this is just Ling Muta style with inferior upgrades versus Archon Zealot Stalker. Now let's see if there is enough Archons to take care of those Mutalisks here. Zealots in a perfect position to take care of those Zerglings, but the Archons just not being enough. Stalkers not focus firing down the Mutalisks, and this is going to mean a retreat for Wolf here. BurnheaD will just reproduce on anything he likes, even the Ultralisk Cavern finishing right about now, and he just needs to remake a couple of his army, drone up this 4th base, and then just push for the win. Basically, at this point, I believe he can win with anything he chooses to produce. 64 drones versus 44 probes. Not a good situation. The upgrades, though, the upgrades is what... that's basically what is keeping Wolf in this game at this point in time. Problem is, he can't really take a 4th base. He's underprobed heavily. There are ultras coming on the field right now, and he doesn't have the proper composition to deal with them. No immortals to be found on the field anywhere, and Stalkers don't fare that well versus Ultralisks. BurnheaD very wisely pulling back there. Wolf not really confident in engaging that force. I don't think he's gotten Storm though. Storm might be what turns this game around, but I mean, what would have turned this game around. But it is too late for that now with these Ultralisks coming out on the field. Chitinous plating just about to finish in 20 seconds as well. And I don't think he's got a single idea that that is down. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. The Zerg should continue his ground upgrades though. He is still lacking +3/+3 carapace upgrades that would of course give him a huge advantage in the upcoming fight. So Wolf just trying to build as many units as he can. The army supply shows that the Zerg is 100 to 68 or 70. Not really that bad of a spot for the Protoss, but as I said, he can't deal with the Ultras effectively. The Archons are going to do a great job, but the Stalkers need to be focus firing those heavy gas units, those hard-hitting units down very, very quickly, and they fail to do that, have to retreat. The Zerg still has a standing army, still has quite a number of Ultralisks, And, well, the more Archons the Protoss can get at this point, the better for him. Plus 3 flyer attacks. You know, even though I don't particularly like BurnheaD's style in this game, I have to say, why I say that, well, that's primarily because he's just going for everything. He's going for air upgrades, he's going for Mutalisks, he's going for Ultras just on 4 bases, just on 67 drones. So this is not your standard ZVP, as you can see, but he does have the composition advantage. And yes, this should be it. This is just this is just totally not enough to deal with this army. And again, the Protoss has to pull back. Despite the Zealots, I think they do have charge. No, they don't, actually. And yeah, BurnheaD, as I said, he can just kill him with anything he chooses to do right now. The +3 armor and attack upgrades for the Protoss will not finish in time. Ultras just clashing with the Zealots, smashing into the Stalkers, and now he can just comfortably split his army into 2 groups. Those Ultralisks not going down anytime soon, and once these Stalkers go down, it is going to be it. That's going to be the end of this game. Very weird game, I have to say, but an entertaining one nonetheless. And we can see that Wolf is trying to make the best of the bad situation here, trying to micro to the best of his ability, positioning his units correctly, but not going to be enough. The Natural, meanwhile, is going to go down. There is no Mothership Core even in the play any longer. And he says, God, Zerg must be easy, as he leaves the game. Well, if you would have scouted the 8 pool, dude. I feel like you can't really take such an early third. Unless you're... You can if you're going Colossus, but I don't think you can take such an early third if you're going Templar, which is what he was forced into. So I'm still going to stand by my statement that double Phoenix production was probably the better answer to that situation. All right. So that was game number 1. And game number 2 is going to go ahead and be a TVP. So, a couple of news for you guys watching, which, of course, thank you very much for tuning in. Appreciate it highly. Couple of news which you can already see on the screen, of course. I will be casting the DSCL finals in The Hague on June 1st. That's, of course, the Dutch StarCraft League. And let me just tell you which players have qualified for the finals. Just pull that up. If you want to know more about this event, about how the Dutch are trying to grow the scene, then by all means go to dscl.nl. Alright, where are we? Okay, so the players who qualified for the live finals in The Hague are Grubby, Liquid Red, Fnatic Harstem, Lowland Lions Mel, Knights Gaming Shark, AT This Game Suck, Lowland Lions Yona, and Knights Gaming Rainman. You might notice that there are 2 players from LLL and 2 players from Knights Gaming. That is because those are the 2 biggest and top of the line teams in Netherlands. Actually, Lowland Lions being originally Liquid Red's home team. He was still a Lowland Lion when he tried his matches in Korea in the Brood War. So that was his original team. Since then, he has come a long way, though. And of course, Grubby, as I'm reading right now, Grubby had to forfeit his spot in the finals due to having probably... oh yeah, due to time conflicts, actually, because this ends up being the only time he can take a vacation, so he can't really afford to play any tournaments. Any predictions about the time? Yes, we are starting June 1st, 10 a.m. on 2 streams, I believe. And we'll be continuing on well into the night. I think we'll be closing the casts at like 10:30 p.m. depending on how long the games are. I will be there with Maddles, Lurlian, Odin from Clan Mythology, and Wyman, who will also be taking our pictures because he's the designated photographer for the event. So if we want to see awesome games, just tune in on June 1st. I don't yet know the stream address. I'm sorry, I don't know which stream this will be broadcast on. But if you follow me on Twitter or Facebook, I'll be posting that. I'll make sure to post that when I arrive on the scene of the crime and find all the additional information out that I've been missing so far. So let's go into the second game. This is going to be a TVP on Acheron Wastes. And this is a fairly long one, so I have to take a drink of my hot tea. Okay, so Acheron Wastes, a TVP in the making. Spawning in the top left, we do have the red Terran, dbrisingr. I'm just going to call him Rising, just to make things a little bit simpler and easier for everybody. In the bottom right, we do have Mr. Lionheart, the blue Protoss player. So, you know, this map, if you have ever played TVP on this map, you probably know that the main is very easy to drop from this location. Not as easy to drop from this location, which means pretty much means if the Protoss is going for some sort of a 2-base play, which is highly unlikely these days, but still possible. You're not going to have much options in terms of counterattacks. But if he takes a 3rd base here, you can drop the 3rd base, load up, boost into the main, load up, boost into the 3rd. So harassment capabilities of the Terran on this map in a 3-base versus 3-base scenario are very, very big. Likewise, you can if he ends up taking this as his 3rd, you can drop the 3rd here and then boost into the natural and then boost into the main. But as I said, that's a lot harder to do just because there is your medvacs are exposed, right? They would come under fire of the Stalkers. And for the Protoss, you basically want to engage here. You want to engage here. You want to engage here, so that's very easily to defend this position. You don't want to engage here. Ever. No. That's not done. You just don't engage in open spaces on this map. Okay, back to the game. Just summarizing the map for you quickly, in case you don't have an idea, or in case you're a first-time StarCraft 2 watcher and you don't know what this is all about. Back to the game. The Terran, very surprisingly, is going for a gasless expansion, denying the scout by the Protoss though. So this is going to make the Protoss player a little bit weary. He doesn't see an add-on, and he hasn't seen the command center, which I think if he went with his probe all the way up to here, he would have seen it, and he would breathe a sigh of relief. As it is, he didn't, but he's going to expand anyway. Nevertheless, he will have to play a little bit safer, maybe taking a faster second gas just in case of gas play coming out of the Terran. So far, the Terran is continuing with his gasless build, adding on 2 additional barracks, and will be adding a double gas or maybe a single gas later on. And as I suspected, the Protoss is feeling a little bit nervous here, adding on a second geyser as fast as possible. Actually missing this SCV, a little bit of a blunder here by the NRS Lionheart. God, I knew what this abbreviation stands for. NRS, that's... which team is that? God damn it. Can't remember. So, Robo Facility going down. This further reinforces my assumption that the Protoss player is scared a little bit. And, you know, him not seeing a natural expansion yet, he's going to feel really, really, really scared. Now, the thing with PvT is that as a Protoss, you generally don't want to make more units at the start of the game. That is absolutely necessary. You want to be chrono boosting your double nexus most of the time, getting your economy up very, very, very quickly, similar to how Zergs in ZVT would just drone, and then if they sniff out a timing coming out of the Terran, they just BAM pump units. This is what the Protoss does. He just powers econ, techs behind it, and then at the appropriate opportune time he just starts mass warping units. But basically you don't want to be warping units unless you really have to. So, getting that observer, and look at the rally point. It is rallied behind the mineral line in the main. So, really, like I said, the Protoss player is scared. He doesn't know what is coming his way. He doesn't have any sentries for hallucinations, which in my opinion, if you're using the observers back home, you kind of want to have. He did see those Marines moving out, so he should warp in some sentries, or maybe just Stalkers. Stim started for the Terran player, starting to add additional add-ons as well. He's going to have a lot of Marines with us, taking a third gas while pressuring the expansion of the Protoss player. Of course, Photon Overcharge is a huge deal here. I did see the Protoss player selecting that Mothership Core, but ooh, big micro mistake out of Lionheart, losing that Stalker basically for free. And he's going to lose a lot of probes here. 2 Stalkers coming in, denying that bunker, so that's a good sign. And I have to say, this is a really cool move, just moving those probes completely out of the way. Photon Overcharge will go down. Oh, I was afraid for a moment he would not get that. And now he has to use his probes and his Stalkers to fight and try to keep those Marines in the range of that Nexus. But no. He elects not to do that. He really doesn't want to lose more probes than he already has. A missed rally here from Rising, donating some free SCV kills to the Protoss player here. Behind this, Lionheart was preparing for a Colossus transition, so he does have the Robo Bay down. And, well, Rising, he did a fairly good job of slowing down the economy. Following his play with double NG base in favor of faster medvacs, so he's not going to be dropping anytime soon. Just wants to get ahead in the upgrade game. Of course, Lionheart needs to know what the hell is up, so he's poking up the ramp, he's trying to see what the Terran player has, how big the army is. He sees that there is still no stim, otherwise the Terran would have stimmed already. I mean, free 3 Stalkers? I don't know if you caught that, but we have 3 Stalkers and he would have gotten them for free. Yeah, I should have said that in another way, sorry. So, 3 Stalkers any time of the day, bro. And after all is said and done, you know, the game is still pretty even. First Colossus just now popping out, Thermal Lance getting started, and economy being pretty even, I have to say. So, you know, in this matchup, really the Terran has to have the initiative. You can't, as a Terran, just sit in your base and mass up an army and upgrades. This just doesn't work that way. You have to pressure the Protoss, you have to poke every now and again, you have to be aggressive, similarly how you would be in a TVZ matchup. So, I mean, Rising is playing this very well. He's playing this as it should be played. First 2 medevacs coming out at approximately 11 minutes, so he's just going to go for another poke here while he's taking his 3rd base here. Or will take his 3rd base here. Wise move, before he moves out, he knocks down these rocks so that no Zealot run-bys will happen. That is a very good move. Meanwhile, Lionheart, seeing as the Terran is not dropping him, and he does have this observer over this army, he did a very good job of scouting out the Terran's movements and what he's doing. So he's taking a 3rd base. He doesn't feel threatened. Why would he? He does have a Colossus. He does have, well, admittedly only 2 sentries, but he's feeling pretty safe, I'd say. And he has a reason to. He's got his Mothership core out, he's got energy for 1 photon. Overcharge, he knows exactly where the army is, he knows it is moving towards his third base. So all he has to do now is prepare for the drop. Double drop coming his way. Will he position his Stalkers in time and at the correct spot? That is the question. Only having 1 forge though, getting +1 upgrades right now. Should be adding a Twilight Council relatively fast here, and his minerals and his gas are climbing quite high to astronomical heights. The drop does get unloaded in the main base. So far 10 probes have been killed this game only, and probably will not get taken out. The Terran can just load up and boost away, and he can actually drop the third base and try to take it down, because now all the army, and he knows that, all of the army is in the main. It will take it some time to circle around this area to try to defend the third base. A little bit of a mistake, or maybe not enough courage there from him to unload both those medevacs and try to go for the third nexus. Instead opting to just kill some of those probes. 15 probes killed this game, but well, the game is starting to go in the favor of the Terran player here. He's pulling ahead in harvesters. He does have his third base, so you know, with those triple mules going down onto those minerals and having 7 harvester advantage, this will be pretty tough for the Protoss to beat. Moreover, the Terran has a very big upgrade advantage, already getting +2/+2. Actually, +2 attack getting very nearly done, and the Protoss player is just on +1 and 0. So basically he has to play this defensively, ward off any drops, not get his Colossi killed, and try to play catch-up. The Robo-Bay has been sniped though, so he has to rebuild that one, and double drop going on right now. Let's see how the Protoss splits his army. He actually does not split his army at all. He's just relying on fresh warpins to defend the drops at his natural and in his bane. But all of this is just holding him further and further back. Remember, there has been no Colossus production for the past 3 minutes or so, and another advantage of these drops is that you get to scout your opponent. The Terran has seen the second Robo, so he knows that all he has to do right now is add on starports. Where are you, starports? And just pump mass Vikings. He is pumping mass Vikings though, while getting himself supply blocked a little bit, but I would really have liked him to drop down a second starport, a reactor on top of that, and just build very many a Viking very quickly. Getting ship weapons level 1 as well. That will of course help the Vikings take down those Colossi kind of fast. But really level 2 ship weapons is what you want to have ideally in a standard game. You don't really have to continue beyond that, because there is really no need. Maths don't lie. And okay, so I'm going to call this right now. This is a stupid move. From a logical standpoint, I'm showing my opponent a lot of Colossi. He scouted my double Robo, so he probably is going to go ahead and build tons of Vikings. And I am making a freaking double Stargate transition. Not the wisest moves in the world, but yeah, some people do have clear ideas about how the matchup works. Right now, a Lionheart needs to defend. Those Colossi will go down. That infantry actually is not there to only kill the Gateway army. That infantry is there to protect the Vikings from getting shot down by the Stalkers. Every time the Gateway army closed in on those Stalkers, trying to bring them down, there were Marines and Marauders to kill those Stalkers. And as a Protoss, trust me, you don't want to be remaking Stalkers and Sentries. No, they cost gas. Gas is the Protoss precious in this matchup. And while the Terran is taking a third, the Protoss is running out of options. He's running out of economy. He's running out of time. And frankly, a good double-pronged attack right now would do the trick. Because I don't see how the Terran player can actually afford to split his army. Getting one Viking there. Okay, so now I know what the transition was for. Phoenixes. Well, Phoenixes are good, but they cost gas, and they, you know, they only can attack air units, and furthermore, they're not going to bring down those Vikings very, very fast. So, how many Vikings do we have remaining here? 5 Vikings. Rising has to be really careful here. Still producing more Phoenixes. So this is a style I actually thought about doing, and then decided against it after I tried it a couple times. Where instead of High Templar transition, you go Phoenix transition and pump heavy Colossus. So actually now it's starting to make sense. But I don't really think this can work in this matchup. We'll have to wait and see on how the engagements go. Like I said, I would have loved to have seen a second starport with a reactor. That's what I would have loved to see. And if you take a look at the positioning of the Terran army right here, he's positioning himself quite well, always positioning his units out in the open. Now, granted, there is an observer here, so he knows where the Vikings are, but as I said at the start, as a Terran, you really want to fight in the open. You don't want to be fighting in chokes, which is unfortunately what Rising has done. And we do have an engagement for Protoss. This is his chance to break out. With 5 Colossi, he's going to do tremendous amounts of damage, but the kiting from Rising is very good. Almost all of the Zealots have gone down, but so have the Vikings. We have 0 on the field, and this is exactly the point in time where double starport would have come extremely handy. While this all was going on, though, a hugely successful drop happened in the natural, killing very many probes there. And the Protoss is down to 51. Now, you may say, well, the Terran is on 64. Yes, but he's got 4 orbitals, duh. So he's going to have an outrageous income as compared to the Protoss. And the Protoss is still only on 3 base economies, essentially, because his main is already mined out. The Terran does have 2 additional command centers just now built. He's going to be planting them here, and maybe probably here. There we go. So he's going to be on 6 bases, 5 if we just take into account the bases that are actually able to mine. And this is such a huge economy. He will be able to power so much and just flood units after units after units at the Protoss enemy and overpower him with sheer numbers. Even if we look at the army size right now, it's 130 versus 70, and this is exactly the position you don't want your army to be in. Remember what I said about open spaces? Imagine the Terran getting a huge concave here, from top to bottom. How many force wills would you have to expand to control the space? And you don't have that very many sentries here as the Protoss player in this scenario, because you did go into Phoenix. You did go into 5 Colossi, and you are doing double upgrades. Admittedly, though, the Protoss is not macroing to the best of his ability, so the bank is quite high. Always being disturbed and distracted by these harassment tactics that Rising is employing versus him. And I fear this may be the last battle of the day. The Terran Bio is at 3-3. That's a ridiculously strong army. That's a way better position for the Protoss army to fight in. The first rows will take the fire. I don't know if the Terran can do this, but all the Zealots are go down. There are still enough Marauders remaining to snipe these Colossi one by one. Zealot reinforcements notwithstanding, and this small army will have to retreat for the time being. But 2 Colossi have gone down. All of the army is dead. The Protoss does have enough, quite enough actually, to replenish those numbers. But I think the Terran is going to be doing a way better job of it. 4 Marauders, 8 Marines being produced per 1 production cycle. And, well, the Protoss is still only on 6 warp gates. Not a good sign. So, basically, this game should have been over like 10 minutes ago. And it would have been if Rising would have added on additional barracks as he was taking expansions. But he hasn't added very many since the time he took this 4th base. He is adding multiple starports right now. I really like that. And more add-ons on the freshly built barracks going down as well. So right now he will have the proper reinforcement capabilities. Oh, this is an interesting move. I don't know if he's trolling right now or if he's being serious, getting ravens out on the field. Now, this has a couple of advantages. Of course, as your army moves across the map, you are going to kill any observer you meet, just because the Vikings auto-target things in the air. But also, you can use seeker missiles. This drop, if it is boosted, there we go. Could have actually gotten into the main. Another attack, simultaneous attack to the 3rd, and the Protoss army being way out of position. This is a very successful attack for Rising, considering that he can reinforce much faster than the Protoss can. But the Archons, there is no answer to them. He will have to build a Ghost Academy, because I don't think he has one so far. Let me check if he does have. Oops, if he does have the Ghost Academy. Doesn't look like it. At least I don't see it anywhere. So he'll have to get a Ghost Academy pretty soon, but he's not doing that. So. Very odd choices, both from Lionheart and Rising. Lionheart going for a very funky composition of a Gateway Colossi Phoenix into Mass Archon, and without even getting Storm, I have to say, nor Blink. And Rising just opting to go Ravens instead of Ghosts. I don't know how I feel about that. The Protoss trying to establish his 5th base. I think after a couple of engagements, unless Rising engages really unfavorably for him, the bank of the Protoss player is just going to go dry. He's already lacking gas by getting that many Archons. So if he doesn't win the next fight, he will probably lose the game in 2 additional encounters where he will not have enough units, the correct types of units, to fight the Terran army. He does have 6 Archons with this army, and they do have shield upgrades as well. Level 2 to be quite exact. Now the space is going to go down, but I was just about to say that he could have gotten caught off guard from the back. Not going to happen. This is really turning into a split map scenario. Very slowly but surely. So, but like I said, guys, this is really a long game, so bear with me. Neither player wanting to commit, willing to commit too much of his standing army to crush his opponent, and well, definitely I have to give the advantage to the Terran player. And oh, he may get this base even. He knows the Protoss army is out of position. Where is the mothership core for the recall? Oh, it is too far away. It can't recall the army. The Nexus is going to go down, and this is not good news for Lionheart. He really needed that base just because of the gas income it is providing him. And now the Terran has just like infinite scans because so many orbitals. And, well, it is going to be blow for blow, but unlike the Protoss expansion, this one is not yet done, so we may see a cancel. There we go. Nice presence of mind from Rising. And he is very wisely going to position his army in such a way that he can defend this expansion. I don't know if he will be able to. He's engaging from a really bad angle. this could end very badly for him. Actually, this could be a disaster. If a lot of this army survives, then the Protoss player can just push forward. And I have to say that PDDs, well, they don't work against Archons. This base is going to go down, and it would be wise for the Protoss to push on right ahead and try to kill his opponent while he can, while he has the chance. But no, he really wants to get this base. You know, there is still a lot of Archons, no ghosts out on the field. And is this just going to be planetary defense, or is it just going to be expansions? Just go kill him! What are you waiting for? You have a standing army, he does not. You could have... Oh, he's just going to pull back. Okay, guys, so this game will go on for a little bit longer here. Unbelievable, unbelievable. Now with these cannons, Lionheart probably will have a much easier time defending this base. Needs to get rid of those pesky PDDs though, in order... Oh, what is this? That was a little bit of a misclick by the Protoss. He's going to take out this base yet again, so yeah, in a split map scenario, this is exactly what you want to be doing. You want to be killing bases, denying bases, while you prevent your opponent from denying bases of your own. And both of these players maxed out the upgrades, really favoring the Protoss, especially with this army composition. But, well, maybe I spoke too soon. They do favor the Protoss because he does have Archons and there are no EMPs on the field, but there is a big mistake on Lionheart's part here, and that is he doesn't have any AoE. He doesn't have a Storm. All the Colossi have been killed off. And, well, Rising, he needs to scout his opponent's army composition and get rid of those Vikings. He doesn't need them at this point. And he does have more than enough starports that in case of the Protoss going back into Colossus production off of the double robo that he has here, with Chrono Boost, you can get 4 Colossi out really, really fast. If he decides to do that, then the Terran can just produce 6 or 8 Vikings at one time. And ooh, what the actual hell? We have BCs out on the field. I totally missed the fusion core. I apologize, guys. There are 4 BCs with this army. Let's see the upgrades. 2 upgrades on those BCs. This is actually a good engagement for the Protoss, but he needs to reposition. He does not want to move up that ramp. But he's going after the BCs hard. The Archons need to go to the front. What are you doing, Lionheart? And you're not reinforcing off of this. You just lost the entirety of your army. There are the reinforcements, but those are just Stokers. Stokers not very good versus Marauders. Archons would have been the much better choice here. These Marauders are just going to drive those Stokers in front of them. Meanwhile, the 4th base of the Terran has been gutted, but Protoss has another secure expansion. But for how long? The Terran Bio is still standing strong. And there is not that much in the form of defense here. Those Zealots can be kited and those Stalkers will not live long. Zealots are going to be taken out. Don't tell me the Protoss will win this. Don't tell me this Terran player, as awesomely as he played, adding in Ravens and BCs, is going to be Protossed. I would be a sad panda if that happened. Huge warping of Stalkers, but why is he warping Stalkers? Maybe he's afraid that more BCs will come? Maybe it is that. But, I mean, there are more BCs on the way. The fact is that we have quite a lot of Marauders. 37 Marauders out on the field, 47 Marines, 10 Vikings. So those Void Rays actually will not live for a very long amount of time. Nice moves here by the Protoss player, delaying the mining for the Terran. He needs to spread his probes a little bit better, though. The space is just ridiculously oversaturated. Going into Colossi production, I don't know how much I like that, but I guess at this point any tech switch is a good tech switch, and any number of units you can have is good number. How many Templars do we have in here? Just one. That's not going to be enough. And we still don't have any storms, so this is just for feedback. And here we go. PDD is going down, completely nullifying the damage potential of those Stalkers without a storm. And look how fast these Stalkers have just died. That army is done for. Quite a lot of medevacs to heal this. An emergency warping of Archons and Zods comes in, but not going to be enough at this point, I'm afraid. It is going in piece by piece. The Protoss army getting ravaged by the combined firepower of Marine Ghost Rifles and grenades of the Marauders. And this is going to be game, ladies and gentlemen. Look, no gas in the Protoss bank, which means no army. Still more BCs coming onto the field. The Terran scanning ahead. He does see that there is no army protecting this base. He is just going to go and A-move. And we are going to see comments such as, LOL, Terran such an A-move raise. Whoa, 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 trollololol, you can just walk over me. Well, no, he played this actually. He played this quite nicely. And interestingly to boot. Admittedly, there are not that very many Marines. But still, no Void Rays will be able to survive. And once this base goes down, I think the Protoss player will just end up GGing from the game. Actually, he should have GG'd when this base died, because he doesn't have any mining for him. The income is at 0. So is for the Terran though, because those DTs have done tremendous job of clearing out the SCVs and the expansions. We still have 5 of them here. So it's turning into a little bit of a base race scenario, but as a Protoss player, there is no way you can win this base race. Just no way in hell. Yeah, those DTs can do quite a lot of job. Quite a good job. But ultimately, in the end, I mean, the Terran still has orbitals. He can still mine. He can still have an income. He can still replenish his army. You can't. You have 13 probes. What's that versus 5 orbital commands? So the last fight about to happen here. Zealots not even knowing which way they should be running to, trying to jump onto the board of the BC or trying to hack and slash through the Marauder Marine army that is the Terran force here. It is really a sad tale of staying in the game for longer than you have to, but ultimately this Protoss will have to GG out 5 supply and just leaves the game. Wow. Alright, before we go to the next game, let me just get a breather and give my voice a rest for a little bit and catch up with the chat. Devilovi sloní. Oh, you have a military day in USA. Right. Oh, Gary J! Hey there, see you Saturday. But I don't know how you look, so don't be shy. Approach me in The Hague when I'm finally there. Just, you know, if I have free time, just step up, introduce yourself, and I'll be sure to try to remember. I'll be sure to try to remember. Grab a popcorn and read through the discussion on Facebook in the Czech and Slovak StarCraft 2 group. I will when I finish the cast and upload the video, or start uploading the video to YouTube, so that anybody who watches, you know, who misses, can watch from archives. All right, let's go back to the game. I promised you a Polt game, and I'm going to give you a Polt game. This was taken from the American server, I do believe, when Polt started laddering again. So, BelleNOiRtv Vestige again. And in the bottom right, we have CM Storm Polt, the red Terran. In the top, it is my insanity Pengwin, the blue Zerg. Real Polt? Yeah. I was told that this is indeed real Polt, I think. Let's see the APM throughout the game. We'll see. It might be a fake, but Pengwin said that it is the real Polt, so, you know, he has to know what he's talking about. Because on the European server, he's a top master level player, borderline GM. So we do have probably the real Polt here, opening up with, guess what, a barracks. I am going to keep a close eye on the gases though, because this map, not a lot of people know it, but this map is actually very good for mech play, because of so many good places that you can position your tanks, your widow mines. It's just a heaven for siege tank and widow mine play, but not a lot of Terrans are doing that currently, just because no one really found a way to make mechanical play work versus Terran. I mean versus Zerg. So most players going for bio play. Polt getting a very greedy expansion here. Not even, yeah, making only one Marine, and then cutting a couple of SCVs just to get that expansion a little bit earlier. Double gassing it up straight away. So probably will be following this up with factory play. He can still follow this up with just an add-on on the barracks and just go bio, but I'd be really surprised if he did. Now Pengwin, he doesn't know about the expansion. His overlord is just a little bit too far away from there, and he could move to C. So far he's not doing that, and Storm, Polt, he's gonna scout with just one Marine. Try to do a little bit of damage. There are no Zerglings out on the field yet, so it will be up to these drones to try to take care of the Marine here. And he doesn't lose the single drone. Polt's trying to go for it maybe again. No, he's going to go back into the main. That would be an unwise decision, just because Queens will be out very, very shortly here. And indeed, he is following this up with a factory, just as I suspected. Meanwhile, the Marine has been killed by the Queen. So really, 2 drones killed, and that's about it. Does Does Pengwin know about that expansion? Yes, he does. He does now. And bunker going down near the natural base, just to prevent versus any kind of aggression, run-bys, that sort of thing. Link speed going to be finished pretty quickly here. So far both of these players are playing kind of standard. An immediate starport after the factory. This could suggest Hellbat drops. Could. I'm not saying it will, but it could suggest that Polt is trying to go for Hellbat dropping. Or maybe Widow Mine drops. I'm kind of confused at this point in time by such an early starport. Oh, damn it. How could I have not remembered? Alright, so Cloaked Banshees. But guess what? Pengwin, a fan of getting ridiculously fast, Overseer... I mean, not Overseer, Overlord speed. Because it is hatchery tech since Heart of the Swarm. So that he can get a very fast scout. He did see that tech lab on that starport. So he should know exactly what will be coming his way. Checking for the third base, seeing that there is none. He didn't see any third command center in the main of Polt neither, so he's going to be feeling pretty good with his upgrades being ahead, already getting +1/+1, starting his lair straight up. Probably will end up taking a base at this point in time, while he's doing a run-by, trying to kill as many SCVs as possible. But yeah, those lings will not achieve too much there, having to retreat back, but blow for blow, evening the worker kill tab out, taking a third base, and well, Polt, he's battlecruiser rushing. He's what? This can't be right. What the? Why is everyone building battlecruisers? He must be trolling. I mean, there's... he must be trolling because, you know, this is American server. Polt was in Diamond League currently at this point in time, trying to ladder up his rank up his account. So he must be trolling. I can't imagine he would be serious about this. Let's see if Pengwin can actually punish this. He's trying to get the Spire. He'll need a lot of Corruptors, multiple spores going down everywhere across the bases, and Lings being produced because, you know, battlecruisers, unless there is like 2, 3, 4 of them, they don't kill Lings that fast, and Lings are of course faster than the battlecruisers. Even getting a third base as a part of your wall, now this is really, he has to be trolling. This one battlecruiser, of course, will kill will kill the third base of Pengwin. He's got no mobile anti-air to deal with this. And, I mean, what can Pengwin do? The only thing he can do is try to deny the third base from going up. The weapon refit will be finishing as well, so he can Yamato down Queens. And without Corruptors, honestly, these battlecruisers will not be faring that well. But a run-by does happen. The command center is lifted. Quite a lot of SCVs could go down here, but only until such a time that they do move up that ramp. Two battlecruisers defending the natural, ladies and gentlemen. Battlecruiser defense, special tactics by Polt. 10 Corruptors on the way. They will be able to kill this one battlecruiser here, but Polt already will be on 3 bases shortly here. Nice move by Pengwin though. Vomiting creep all over that location so that the third cannot actually land. Forcing a cancel on the 4th command center and trying to do as much economic damage as he can. He is supply blocked though at this moment, and the Corruptors are coming in. Where is the corruption? It is nowhere to be found, but this battlecruiser will end up falling. The Zerglings are killing a lot of SCVs actually. They have already killed 16 and the count is rising, but Polt with his superb battlecruiser defense is back on the job. 2 more battlecruisers about to pop out. Another command center building. unbelievable. This is certainly not what I expected when I saw Polt's name on the replay tab. And trust me, I have not seen this game prior to it being cast. So finally a third base going down for Pengwin. Finally a third base going down for Storm. But despite so many Harvesters being killed, look at this. 50 SCVs versus 43. This is definitely the real Polt. Okay, these two battlecruisers probably will end up dying as well. I don't have enough energy for another Yamato cannon. More battlecruisers would be needed though, and Pengwin, well, he loves his Mutalisks, so he is transitioning into Mutalisk play. This could actually work out. Battlecruisers not so strong versus Mutalisks, and Pengwin doing a very good job of continuously rallying in those Zerglings and trying to slow Polt down before he gets a critical mass of battlecruisers. Polt apparently deciding that he's going to play a mono battle on the ladder without having to create a custom game. Another base denial from Pengwin here, so nice moves, but he really needs to ramp up that air presence. How many battlecruisers do we have out on the field? Still only 2, so yeah, Pengwin is doing a very good job of keeping the battlecruiser count low. It is going to be 4 in a moment though. Woo! Wasting a Yamato on an Overlord because he's so cool, so why not? Another command center getting taken down though. And, well, over time, Polt is just going to run out of command centers to float over. At the same time, Pengwin can't kill his air. He can't kill 4 battlecruisers with what he's got in the air right now. We have 8 Mutalisks and 9 Corruptors. Pengwin trying to go for a macro game, taking an additional base. Not having very many Harvesters though, only 49 drones. 3 command centers at the same time being built. Just ridiculous. And still, army supply just barely ahead of Polt. Economy being quite even at this point in time. Well, not even bothering with missile attacks because Hydras are just not that good, maybe. Or maybe it is because Pengwin just really loves his Muta Corruptor style. He actually told me that if the Zerg goes Muta Corruptor in ZVP, for example, if it's played correctly, there is no way the Protoss can beat it. I would argue against that, but it is his style, and practically in almost every ZVP I've seen him play, he does go Mutalisk Corruptor. Now Polt, he's been on 2 bases for far too long. Excuse me there. Far too long. His natural is getting very close to mined out, as is his main. So he'll just have to kill the Zerg with 6 battlecruisers. So scratch that. 8 battlecruisers with 0 upgrades. And what does Pengwin have? He's got 13 Corruptors and 8 Mutalisks. Not entirely enough, I have to say. Battlecruisers, this is like, for cost, this is a unit with the most amount of hit points that the Terran has in their arsenal. 550 hit points. If you think about it, that's like a third of the hit points of a command center. So, game being a little bit slow at this point in time. Pengwin just trying to build spore crawlers everywhere, get enough of air presence, and continues to deny bases. This is a good move by Pengwin. Oh, we don't mind. We don't mind. All right, just killing a couple of Corruptors there. Zerglings coming in and taking care of the Marines. We don't mind getting only 1 kill. And the most crucial thing for Pengwin right now is to keep his Corruptor Muta Ball alive. He can't let a single Widow Mine go off onto that. Finally, this is going to give Polt some breathing room, and he is going to be able to establish a third base. and well, 14 banelings on the way. Is Pengwin seriously going to try to go for a baneling bust? I don't know, man. We have Stim, we have 1-1 for the Marines. Polt is upgrading absolutely everything, and I can't imagine how this would... Well, there are no tanks, there are Widow Mines, very well positioned, I have to say. The Widow Mine positioning is perfect, but as Pengwin kind of realizes now. But I don't know. Those battlecruisers, I mean, you kill the ground army, sure, but those battlecruisers will clean up eventually. Pengwin, though, he has 26 Corruptors right now on the field. An attack from Polt on the left side of the map forces all the Zerglings and Banelings to go back. But right now, well, he should have split that army, but wasn't quite fast enough on that, and the base does go down. No 5th base over on this side. So basically this is forcing Pengwin's hand. He has to attack, he has to do damage, and he does, taking out the 3rd base of Polt. And Polt, well, he has to kill his opponent right now. He doesn't have very much of an income, but he's dropping the main base at the same time. The Zerg army is far, far, far away. The Hive could go down before it finishes. Sporecrower targeting down the medevacs, but I really think this Hive will go down. Maybe even the spawning pool yet again, and the Spire might be killed as well. No. The Zerglings do finally go and clean that up. And Pengwin, again, alright, I defended, I'm going to kill you. You leave me no choice. But the battlecruiser count is absurdly high for Polt at this point in time. We are at 8 battlecruisers with only 32 SCVs, but 34 Marines as a support. And Pengwin really needs to keep this 3rd base alive. Polt not really targeting it down, so he's just leaving those Marines to do as they please. Fire at will, it is called in military lingo. Oh, a lot of Widow Mine hits going off onto those Corruptors. As I said, losing any Corruptor at this point in time is going to be detrimental to Pengwin's efforts to win the game. He really needs to keep those up. This is a weird situation that Pengwin has been put into, and since you don't really face this kind of composition at all in High Masters, Top Masters, you don't really know how to react. You don't really know what ratio of air to ground should you be building. And, well, Polt at this point in time, he has established quite a good economy. Finally, he's on 3 bases, and he's got a beefy army. Corruptions, Yamato cannons going off everywhere. Marines stimming. There is nothing on the ground, and Widow Mines, of course, backing that up. Pengwin really does not want to lose those Corruptors, but he's got no ground army. There is nothing to kill the Marines and Marauders. He has to cancel these base. He's got no Banelings. He's got no Lings. And, Polt basically forced Pengwin to invest heavily into air army, neglecting his ground army upgrades just a little tad bit. And now, if he wants to, if there are no Mutalisks around, he could kill him with just a ground switch after these battlecruisers die. This is so funny, as it is genius, I have to say. Corruptors will end up dying a little by a little, and notice Polt is not going back into battlecruiser production. He is remaxing solely on Marines and Marauders. There is nothing the Zerg can do about this, or not much he can do about this. 3 upgrades on the way as well, and will be kicking in about 2 to 3 minutes. Polt on 4 bases right now, and Pengwin, well, he's got only one base really mining. Only one really mining base. And he's out of options. As soon as this bank is gone, that's it. Where are the Overseers, by the way? Why isn't an Overseer flying around with these Mutalisks? I wonder. Do we have a lair, even? Yes, we do. The Hive did end up surviving that attack, so no excuse for not having an Overseer with your flyers when There are widow mines about. Oh, such a good positioning on all of those widow mines. There goes the overseer. He's going to be killed fairly quickly here. This is a very good very well upgraded Terran army there. Those Mutalisks, they are not going to be able to stand toe-to-toe with them for very long. They do end up cleaning the Marines though, target firing them down, but with more Marine reinforcements, I think Polt is going to be able to kill the next batch of Mutalisks, sending his Marauders, only the Marauders away to try to snipe hatcheries. And keeping the Marines and the rest of his forces back home. This is a really nice move by Polt. The Marauders have made their way all the way into the main, and the Spire is going to go down! Before the upgrade even finishes, Pengwin immediately rebuilding that, but Polt having a firm lead on this game, driving the Zerg back, killing whatever he can, and the supplies show the tail at this point. 100 to 50 in army with comparable economy. Excuse me, Polt having more economy, even getting high-sec auto-tracking, building armor, and vehicle weapons level 2. Oh my goodness, those widow mines. Not even coming into the fight. Polt not even splitting his marines. He says, why should I? I have so much reinforcement potential. And there goes the GG, laughy, smiley face, and a big heart. The overage APN for these players was 280 for Polt and 400 for Pengwin. But even so, Pengwin did not manage to win this game. What a ridiculous game. What? Battle cruisers. This is a second game we have seen battle cruisers in, guys. A second game in a row. Just ridiculous. Oh, right. So, this was Cast My Game episode number 14. Once again, guys, the VOD is, or the VOD as it's more commonly known, is going to be up on my YouTube site, which is, of course, BelleNOiRtv, in about 2 to 3 hours. As soon as I can get that uploaded, it will be there. So, hello, all you guys watching from the archives. Of course, if you want to check out Pengwin, you can do so on Twitter at MYIPengwin. You can also check him out on Twitch at twitch.tv/Pengwin_SC, or check out his team My Insanity with their awesome team house in Switzerland on facebook.com/MyInsanityEU, or on their website www.myinsanity.eu. Yeah. So, if you do have a Master versus Master, that's the lowest I'm going to go, but if you are a GM, just send me a replay. So, if you have a Master versus Master and higher ranked 1v1s between 10 to 30 minutes, and you would like me to cast them, I hope I'm doing a decent job. I'm trying my best. You can send them to BelleNOir@sesnam.cz with the title Cast My Game, including a short description. Don't forget to state your player name, because otherwise I don't know who sent that replay, and I can't give you a shout out. Of course, if you do want me to shout out any social media you might have, any websites, teams, or anything, basically, include that in the body of the email, and I will do so as well. There is going to be episode 15 tomorrow, and then no episode on Wednesday, because I will have to be at work. And probably no episode on Thursday, because I have to get ready and pack all the things and check everything before my flights to Hague, and I'll be leaving on Friday. So only one more episode this week. Be sure to tune in, and be sure to tune in to the Dutch StarCraft 2 League streams as well on Sunday, June 1st. Anytime from 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. you'll be sure to find me at least half the day on one of the streams. Actually, I think I'll be the opening caster together with Lurlian. I think will be the opening casters for the individual leagues in the morning. So see you guys there. If you're from Netherlands or if you live nearby, go to dscl.nl/finals. Get your ticket reservations. I would be very happy to meet you in person. And if that is not an option, tune into the streams. I'll be watching the chat later on. So this is going to be all. I'm going to answer questions in the chat by typing. But right now, turning off the stream. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys tomorrow and then on Sunday. And until such a time, you guys just stay safe, good luck, have fun, and remember to storm first and ask questions later.